people that say unless you've got a balanced rudder, you don't feel anything. Well, I mean, you
can't pretty like hell, mate.
It's not fingertip steering, but then who needs that? I mean,
No, that's right.
You can feel what's happening here.
And welcome to Almost Got Check. We're in a bay round the corner. We didn't get quite as far as we wanted to last night.
No, the wind's dropped a little bit, so we're just not making quite as many miles as we normally do in a day. So yeah, we found a nice little spot here though, outside, but we did have fantastic wind for our time in Bodrum sailing the Kraken.
Yeah, we were very lucky. I hope you like the film.
Coming up, we finally get to sail the new Kraken 50. It's a revelation. Looking around the historic castle in Bodrum and exploring the many and beautiful anchorages on our way to Gotchek.
Well, we're in the dinghy. We're just going past Bodrum Castle now behind us because we're going into the marina and leaving Fair Isle behind us at anchor because they've got a 50 ready for us to sail. We finally get to go on a Kraken.
And the weather could not be better. They've got fantastic winds. I think it'll be a great test.
See how she does. So on paper, Kraken's got everything it needs to have for be a proper ocean-going boat, but the proof's in the sailing, so Dick is here ready. He can show us.
Access to be able to service it much more easily here.
First, a look around. Much to talk about, it seems. Steve and Dick spend several hours peering down hatches
And you can lift that out and service it.
and having techie debates on the foredeck.
Because the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I know looking at your details, you've got the twin crash bulkheads in here, new waterproof bulkheads.
They only stop when the pilot boat arrives, and we are ready to set sail. Phew.
So Dick, we're about to go, and I was just about to say to you, you can start the bloody engine, but it's already going.
It's already going, it's pretty quiet, yeah. Yeah, we put a lot of sound and vibration installation in the engine room. Yeah. And one of the little tricks I also do is when we got clients going out and test runs and all the rest of it, I get the crew to put on the generator, and then I ask the guests to come down into the saloon and say, would you like us to put the generator on? And of course they always say yes, well, it's already running. That's a good little trick, you know.
As with any new boat, you just want to keep her neat and tidy. So call me a cynic here.
Whew. A real fender locker. I give it about 6 months before it's full of bikes. Paddleboard, you know, all the other things that are more important than fenders. What do you think?
Maybe that's just us. What I can't fault, though, is the ease and speed at which we set sail. A neat box for the ropes, and the sails are set from the cockpit. We have about 6 knots from the get-go.
You're just hanging out in your special chair at the back here.
I am. I'm just observing. My first thought is there is so much space. I mean, it's just incredible. This boat is not that much bigger than ours, and yet it feels, certainly on top, it feels much more spacious, doesn't it? Because we've got windows down the sides. You don't need the butterfly hatches and things like that we've got. On the other hand, it is quite high. That feels a little bit freaky.
Yeah, it's high freeboard, yeah. We're very different. We sit in the water, don't we? So yeah, it's a different feeling.
The design and make of this boat has been thought through by a sailor, Dick Beaumont. He's had years of experience, and as it turns out, he's a man after my own heart. He takes notes.
Now, you're famous for having a little black book, which you note down all the things that you want. How long's that been going on for?
I built the first boat in 1980, and it's been going on really ever since then. I'm going to sadly tell you it's now a little black phone notebook, so I make my notes in the phone now. Yeah, that's what I did. You know, whenever you build a boat, you always think, that's it, that's the ultimate boat. But then you go away and you think, oh, I wish I'd done that. And, oh yeah, that's a good idea, why don't I do that? And as I say, as you just said, it started off with one notebook and it wound up at 6 notebooks. And I just want to build the best blue water cruising boats, and that's the crack really, not to go into mass production or start thinking about the commercial pressures of, oh, I've now got to build more boats.
What that means is that Kraken will build 10 yachts a year in Bodrum.
And like white dragons for that matter. Okay.
By now we're sailing downwind and at a fair speed with Kraken's signature sail formation, Butterfly.
We're just floating along, and how fast are we doing?
And we're doing 6.5 knots, and we got 9 knots of apparent wind.
That is fantastic.
It's just a bit amazing, eh?
But, yeah, as I say, jealous.
Yeah, it's certainly very nice. And I mean, you know, with another 10 knots of wind or something, we'd still be sitting with this, but of course what you can just do is reef it away, both sides. You can just furl it away, both sides, and then you're still carrying on using that setup. It is a good setup. What you do when you're going cross ocean, when you've got more wave, is you use, you'll pole out and pole both of them out.
This is the advantage of a Solent rig with 2 head sails together, making downwind a strong point of sail. It's something we can't do on Fair Isle. The Kraken is unashamedly a yacht built for ocean crossings. But how many people really want to cross an ocean?
Do you think it's something that is attainable for everybody to sail around the world?
It definitely is attainable. You have to have a calm nature. You can't start, you know, panic is the killer. But other than that, yeah, certainly with the equipment and the forecasting, satellite communications and the navigation equipment, is certainly, you know, within everybody's reach to do it. What I think has happened because of COVID, I think that a lot of people that have thought, do you know what, one day I'll do this, have suddenly got the lesson from COVID that, hey, you may need to do this now before the opportunity goes. Because I think we've all had to realise that we can't really depend on the future going on ad infinitum as we would have expected. And I think people have said that to us when they've said, you know, we've always promised ourselves and we realised how tenuous life is and we're going to do it. And that's a significant portion of Kraken customers have said that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
By now, wind is picking up, so for the next test, over to Steve.
I think what you've managed to do here is what you don't get with a boat like a Hans Christian with a full keeled boat. You sort of lose that steering. I mean, we've got hydraulic steering as well, so you sort of doubly lose it. But you know, people that say unless you've got a balanced rudder, you don't feel anything. Well, I mean, you do.
Can't pretty light hell,
I mean, it's not fingertip steering, but then who needs that? I mean, you can feel what's happening here.
Yeah.
I'm going to tighten up a little bit. Can you just tighten the jib sheet for me, though? Yeah. Well, that's it.
That's it. And you immediately feel a response, don't you?
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah. This boat goes. Yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know that her hull speed is 9 knots.
Yeah.
And we'll often go over 9, well over 9. Yeah.
And what's the displacement?
23 ton.
23. Wow. Yeah, we're not quite balanced with the sails yet, and getting a fair bit of weather hell. But yeah, it's lovely.
Use a little bit on the main might help you.
That last comment prompts a balancing of the sails, and I take a back seat.
So balanced.
So we're doing 8.2.
We're doing 8.8, 8.1, 8.2, 8.25.
My conclusion, you can go quite fast in a Kraken and remain comfy. After a day out at sea, a quiet evening back on Fair Isle. Relax. The next morning we explore closer to home, the castle.
You find a restaurant with a little pontoon and you get your coffee as well.
Lovely morning coffee. Yep. The castle dominates the town of Bodrum and dates back to the early 15th century. Building has been an international effort.
So the castle has evolved over the years. You can see this is the English tower where we're going in now, but there's also the Italian tower and the French tower, and probably other towers as
All
well.
the people that have conquered it over the years, I suppose.
Contributed.
Each tower has a museum showing trophies and trinkets from the various inhabitants.
That's a good way of doing it, isn't it, with the glass?
Yeah.
Oh well, in a grave.
The English tower also has a particularly good view.
Found you.
It'd be amazing, look, you've got a little window seat here. You're out of the Anchorage. Can't see Fair Isle though, she's around the corner. That's a nice view. Glad they haven't got a cannon pointing this way. Yeah, garden inside. Wow.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Right. And the minaret, which was obviously added.
The courtyard inside has been used as a garden, a place to sit and contemplate with the local wildlife, and at various times, a cemetery.
These are not columns, they're actually altars that have been put at the end of graves over the years. The families gather around them and make offerings and hope their loved ones sleep well.
And if you thought your fishermen's anchors were outdated, have a look at these. I don't know where these stem from, what age, but stone with holes in. Always 3 holes. Find out how they used to use those. Couldn't be that effective. What do you reckon? Trade our Ultra in for one of those?
No.
The castle is our point of departure from Bodrum as we set off through some amazing anchorages along the southern coast of Turkey, heading for Göcek. May is still early season, but the weather is getting better, so we expect the trip to be quite busy. We wait a couple of days for the right wind and then we are rewarded.
Every so often, once in a while, you get a perfect day for sailing, and today qualifies. Flat sea, lovely breeze, and Steve is so optimistic that he's actually getting his fishing line ready.
Well, this is the perfect speed for fishing.
Yes, it is.
So I'm taking my little sand eel, is that? I don't know, lure that I've had for ages, and we bought a new one. Try this one, because nothing we've had so far is working.
It's all in the lure, isn't it, dear?
Well, the guy in the shop didn't speak any English, but we sort of did a thing of boat trolling, best one, and he says this one, so let's see.
Anyway, you might be able to hear a little bit of a hum coming from the hull. We have got the Watermaker running now. We're doing a little bit of a test, another test on the batteries to see how much it can take. We've got good sunshine, got the autopilot on, which is why we're standing around here, and we had the Watermaker on. And we were down at what, 60% last night, I think?
Yeah. But it doesn't take much. We have tested that. It does take 10 amps, but I'll take you down below, because actually the test that I really wanted to do for this was to see what it's like when we're moving, because you should have a strainer that faces forward, that sort of scoops it up if you're using this, but I haven't. It faces the other way because it's the one from the generator. So let's have a look. I was getting 30 before, and as you can see, it's exactly the same. I'm still getting 30 gallons per hour while we're moving. I mean, we are moving slowly, but we do that quite often. So, you know, if we can make water while we're sailing, then that's really good news for us, and I don't have to change the seacock. So, yeah, keep it like that. We'll keep this going for a couple of hours, fill the tanks up while it's sunny, and then we should still have enough to fill the batteries up after that. What a great day. Stick him in there and set the strain so it's pull fairly easy. We've just got to listen for the sound of it going when the big fish is on.
So you're not going to sit and watch it?
No.
If you do find yourself in this part of the world, we highly recommend a visit to Gneidos.
We're coming out for a walk. It's ended up being a bit more of a scramble than a walk. But it's nice because you just get the smell of thyme, isn't it? Because the whole hillside is covered in thyme, and as you crush it, you get the smell. It's lovely. So yeah, little bay, Gneidos, and it's ancient. There's an amphitheatre over there, and all sorts of ruins everywhere. Even up here, up this this hill, there's remains of walls and things. This is a wall just in here.
Yeah, that continues somewhere as well around there.
Yeah.
Oh, further up, I think.
Let's have a look. It's beautiful. You might have got a dead end here.
I know. We're at the house, aren't we?
Yeah. You can see all the different
Well, can you climb down in
bits
between
of it.
rocks?
You might be able to get down here, or go around it around the other side,
Yeah.
around the edge of the houses. Wow. Look at that. And still, everywhere you look, pottery. How old is that, do we think? Probably thousands of years, and it's just, the whole place is full of it. Amazing. Looks like there's a bit of an arch to the stone in there. I wonder how filled in this is. What's that? Oh my god. A well? Jesus. Can we have a look at this, Jude? Stone down there. A solid bottom, and it's lined. It's got this sort of early mortar, this stuff actually, that they've lined it with to make it smooth. I think it's probably a cistern. They probably stored water down here. It's massive.
This was once a great Greek city, dating back to the 4th century BC. Part of the city is being excavated and numerous treasures are being unearthed.
It goes all the way through, so it's not just carved, it's hooked. You can put your finger right in it. It's amazing. You get a good view. It's quite steep, this amphitheatre. You've got the backdrop of the bay. Farewell's in the corner over there.
But can you imagine coming to see a play here, sitting here, you've got that view, and you've got, well, whatever is happening down there,
Yeah.
a play of some sort.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're massive pieces of stone, and they've shaped them all scalloped. It's an enormous amount of work.
I think this may be my favourite place to watch a play. As we continue to sail east, even more beautiful anchorages and wonderful places to stay.
Yes, wherever you go, there are amazing anchorages. I think you could spend a lifetime sailing the southern coast of Turkey. We did it in about 10 days.
Yeah, but we are going back again, so we'll be able to see other places we missed, which are lots of places on the way. And everywhere you step ashore here, there's just antiquities, things from, 1,000, 2,000 years ago. It's incredible.
And from the antiquities to the modern. Steve, that wasn't at all clunky.
Krakens, yes, the modern version of Fair Isle. I mean, that's why we're interested in this boat. It's the same ethos, the same thing as this boat. I mean, it's not a full keel with a keel hung rudder, but it's the closest thing to that that's being built these days, which is an integral hull with a very strong full skeg and a rudder hang on that. And I need your help actually with this, because we're doing a special. It's going to be a Kraken special, so lots of details on the Kraken, as we've said. Dick and I chatting about Krakens, but the problem is Dick and I are sort of singing from the same hymn sheet. We both like these sorts of boats, but most of the boats out there aren't this sort of boat. They've got boat-on keels, they've got spade rudders, probably twin spade rudders. So I want to get some sense of that, what those boats are like for ocean voyages, for passage making, people that have done it. So please, in the comments, certainly if you've got some practical experience of this, tell us what your experience is, good or bad, of different hulls. I'm going to try and talk actually this week to the Shards from Distant Shores, because they've had a couple of southerlies, which obviously swing keel, twin rudders, and now they're having a new boat built in aluminium, which is a similar design. So I want to get a sense. Our journalism sort of it doesn't allow us to just say, look, these are what we like. It's sort of what everyone likes. There's good and bad in every boat, but we want to get a bit of a sense of what's out there.
And the uses of different boats, that's the other thing as well. We'll be looking at ocean sailing because that's what the Kraken is kind of built for. But other boats are much better, if you're just island hopping.
Yeah, I mean, we did the choosing a boat for cruising thing where, we talk about that a lot. But it does, some of the production boats here with the big cockpits, they're great for med sailing. So if that's what you want to do, that's it. But what we're talking about here is passage making. So it's what works well for that, really.
Exactly. And the other thing we want to say today is, as well as thank you to our patrons, is why not think about joining us? We do have a community now. Some people have amazing expertise amongst our patrons. Some people are just starting out, and talking to each other is really valuable. We find it really valuable. We learn a lot every time we do a Zoom call.
It's a good group we've got together. We do Zoom calls every month. We've got a WhatsApp group, and there's good interaction with that. So you'll see the names of all our patrons coming up now. Thanks to everyone. We couldn't do it without you guys, because it takes all our time to do this.
It does, and our patrons come from all over the world as well, so we're looking forward to going to meeting some of them as we go sailing. So thank you to our patrons, thank you to our subscribers, and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.